Hi, everyone. Before you talk about the stripes, we want you to come to our table. And with that, I'd like to welcome you to the first episode of the Black and White Table Talk, where we're going to talk about things that happen in your games and our whistle, behind the scenes stuff, things you may never see. I'm Kyle Lynch, I'm your host, and I have been officiating multiple sports: basketball, football, kickball, softball, a little bit of soccer. What else? I just anything really. I mean, I would referee a pinochle game or a bid whist game if you need a ref. Dominoes, and some of those games probably need officials the way they be going at it. So I got a couple guests with me, and I would like to introduce these guys to the Black and White Table. I'm honored that you're here. This is, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Drinks you make. Been refereeing for about 20, 25 years. I referee basketball and volleyball.
Aubrey Overby. I've been officiating for 25 plus years. Started with basketball, played basketball, so basketball came a little easier to me, and also started refereeing football a couple of years later. So been doing basketball about 26 years, football about 23 years.
Yeah. And you did a little volleyball too, didn't you?
I tried a little volleyball, tried a little softball, and both a little too. I did the little kids, and it was a little too slow for me. I may try it again.
How were the parents?
Parents, big difference in so volleyball parents. I didn't really, notice the parents.
Yeah.
Definitely not compared to football or basketball, where the parents you definitely notice, and you got to manage the crowd and parents.
Parents pretty bad in basketball for you?
Yes.
Do you think that's the worst?
Basketball's worse.
Basketball's the worst? Okay.
Most definitely.
Well, we're going to get into that a little bit. We're going to unpack all that stuff probably in later episodes. But this episode, we're just going to talk about a few different things. We got a main topic. We got some stories we want to tell you. We're going to talk about plays and break down a couple plays that you're going to see. So hopefully we'll delve into a lot of different things on the Black and White Table. The first thing we want to, but let me say, hey, you guys, I've heard Jay Shetty say, we got friends and we've got family, and we've got friends that become family, and you guys are that for me. So I'm really honored, and I'm glad you're here for this very first episode. Is with intention that you guys are here. Two great referees, two great men, stand-up guys. So I'm happy that you guys are here with me today. Let's start off with, do you guys have a story, something funny, something light that may have happened recently, or maybe not recently, but just anything that you can share, a light story.
I got it.
Okay.
So refereeing a game, I really don't like interacting with this basketball, with the fans. So this particular day, pants had got a little bit too short. And
Your pants?
my pants.
Okay.
And the fans, one particular corner, these kids was laying into me like, Mr. Ralph, you hot water, you swimming, I was like, what? And I happened to look down at my pants, and they were actually that high. So, the next day, I went and had my pants fixed. I was so embarrassed, but I had to laugh because I interacted. I said, I'm gonna get it fixed, buddy. I'm gonna get it fixed. I normally don't interact with the kids, but that particular time I couldn't do nothing but interact with them because they were on me.
Oh man, that's hilarious. So where should your pants actually be? Where do you optimally want your pants?
Right over the top of mine.
Little crease, is that you think that's acceptable for all sports for the most part? Is they should hit the top of your pants, or should they
hit the top of my shoe?
Okay, hit the top of your shoe.
Yeah.
Do they have that in football too, Aubrey, right? I mean, is it?
Well, yeah, you wear shorts sometime in the early part of the season when it's hot, and you wear long pants.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, I got a similar story to that. It's basketball, and this is so. again, in summer, in the non-high school season, we wear shorts to games. So again, fans don't never like the referees. So they, talking to the referees and complain about things and try not to ignore them. I try to ignore them. So my wife always tells me before I go to games, she's looking at the way I'm dressed and, make sure you put lotion on your legs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
Elbows.
I'm running down the court and the ladies continue to get on me. And then she finally says, yeah, I'm talking to you with your ashy legs. I needed some lotion bad, so I had to start laughing.
You knew you forgot it. You forgot your jerseys for the moment. I ain't mad. Yeah. So you don't want to walk around. This is the big thing, right? Like, our appearance is critical.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the parents, the fans, and even sometimes the coaches don't leave a stone unturned for us. So, I mean, we're wide open
we're targets. Yeah, they're looking at everything, anything they can do to get in your ear.
I mean, it's crazy, right? I mean, I guess we've all had people like this. I think I was out in Hall County, which is kind of North Atlanta, right? I mean, I won't describe the demographics of the school, but you know where Hall County is. And this lady started talking about my shoe. She was like, "You wearing them Asics, huh? I see you over there. You think you?" I'm like, "Really? You think you hot stuff over there with them black Asics?" I'm like, "Really?" I mean, like, they notice everything. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's pretty funny. I had a situation this past weekend where I was at a men's club volleyball tournament, and a line judge. They're part of the work team. So there's 3 teams in volleyball. There's the 2 teams that are playing, and then there's a work team that has the scorekeeper, R2, who stands on the floor and helps with net calls and stuff. And then there are line judges. So the line judges basically make in and out calls, touch calls, using the flag. So there's a kid on the corner, probably 15 or 16, and I mean, he is in it. And we love it, right? We love it when the kids get in, they're like, down on the ground, boom, making calls. And so this kid, I mean, the match is pretty intense, but he gets up, he's making a call, and all of a sudden, he's like this. And everybody's like looking, and
flag came off.
Flag came off, man. So he's like, everybody was like, what the hell going on? So he starts officiating the match like this. I'm like, dude. But anyway, so it was just pretty funny. So that was the one thing I thought was pretty hilarious this weekend. But here are our flags. We got some stuff on the table that kind of show some of the things that we've done. Football, different types of, patches and things like that. So we've got a lot of experience here. We're going to unpack a whole lot of different things here at the Black and White Table Talk. Lots of experience and lots of, hopefully, fun and fellowship, which is really what we want to do, and expose some of the things that happen behind the scenes. Let's get to the main part of what I would like to discuss today, which is how did you guys and why did you start officiating? Can you, 25, was it 25 for you, Drake? 25 for you? What made you start and why do you stay?
Well, I started, I just wanted to start refereeing because I couldn't play basketball anymore, so I wanted to stay close to the sport. So I ran into one of the guys that I played basketball with, that Berean Christian Church, sitting there, and I noticed the guy sitting up front. I said, "Hey man, I'm thinking about refereeing." I knew he refereed, so I said, "I'm thinking about refereeing." And he said, "Well, come to the Atlanta area." Me thinking that's the only association in the state of Georgia with the Atlanta area. Not knowing it is one in my, close to me, DeKalb, Gwinnett. So I joined the Atlanta area, stayed there, and one of the main reasons I wanted to give back to the game, stay close to the sport that I love.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
Main reasons.
Yeah, mine is kind of similar. So, like I said, I played basketball and I played in men's leagues here when I moved to Atlanta. So, like most, as like most players, as you get a little older, your body, your mind thinks you can do things your body can't. So I got to that point where, I thought I could still play it, but I couldn't. And I was, playing in men's leagues, and I was starting to, get into it with other players because I couldn't do it anymore. And a referee one time asked me, say, "Hey, but ever think about refereeing?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to referee. I want to play."
Yeah.
Like, your playing day's over.
Right.
But he talked me into a guy named Harold Hooper. Older gentleman, and I started in the rec game. He said, "Hey, I just moved here. I got a rec association. I need, people to referee little kids." So I started doing that. I did that for a couple of years, and that's where I really learned under him. Learning with the little kids and the recreation games. He didn't do high school at that time, but I just started getting into it. I enjoyed it. Wanted to get better and learn more, so you start meeting people. And then I learned about the Multi-County Officials Association, joined that, and went out from there. And then Harold also did football too, so I was, I just knew basketball when he was out there in the football field. Like, "Man, you do football too?" He did baseball, he tried softball and everything, but brought me in to do football as well. And then, so not only love the game, but it was also a nice little second income. Right. At the time, I had a newborn baby, needed a little extra money, and it was Christmas time, and I remember Harold used to come on the basketball court every week and give you a handshake with your payment, little cash. I get that cash, went straight to Toys R Us. And I was like, that's pretty good. I had a whole Christmas, everybody was happy, didn't have any debt after that Christmas. I'm like, man, that's pretty good. So.
Yeah, that money, man. Yeah. Those first couple checks.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, man, you're also an assigner.
Yeah.
So you've fed a lot of us. Our kids went to college because of you. We basically made it because of you, and that service, that what you provide for us, man, is really something special. So. I know from all of the guys that I thank you, and I know all of the guys that we work with, man, we really appreciate you looking out for us. And I mean, how long have you been assigning?
Probably
20 years.
Probably 20 years. So when Harold left, he asked me to take over some of the leagues that he had. He was the assigner. And he trusted me enough to take it over. I've been doing it since then and have actually expanded and do other leagues and other type of events,
other sports.
So
one thing I want to say about Aubrey, and the word is on the street about him, is honesty, truthful honesty. And in this field, it's kind of tough to find somebody that you can trust because we gotten taken. Several,
man.
We're not gonna call any names on the people that
I'll call some names out.
Some people that took us through the grind, and we thinking we made a lot of money with them, but they cut us down kind of low. So
you gotta chase them and worry about your money, and getting overcharged.
I think we all been through that, and I learned having had those experiences, I try not to do that. And I always tell new officials, I say, don't ask me. Ask other officials about the signer. That's you're going to find out about the signer, if you're going to get paid, if you're going to get paid on time. Don't ask me, ask other signers. Other referees, and they'll tell you.
And the word on the street is Aubrey straight up. So, you couldn't be doing it for 20 years. And that's a testament. So gratitude, nothing but gratitude for you and how you've helped us and supported us and our families, really. So, it is a great second income. It's become a primary income for a lot of people, right? There were times when I officiated full time. We got to get on the grind. And I think that's part of the inherent problems and some of the things that happen, with so many games and, getting worn out, burned out, doing so many games a day. Sometimes the pay rate isn't really what it probably should be, but we're going to get into all of that stuff later. I mean, there's a whole episode we could do on, you know, all of that stuff. All of
there's definitely
details.
a balance between doing it for the money and doing it for the enjoyment of the game.
Right.
Because you get some guys, I mean, you can tell they're just doing it for the money, don't care about the game. And then you can also tell where they're just doing it to get better and improve. But there's definitely a balance there.
Yeah, and
a whole episode on that.
I think we all start out feeling that you know, when you first do it, I got bit by the bug too. Same kind of situation. It was I was playing in adult league, and Michael Sanders, you know, Michael Sanders.
Oh yeah.
He little tiny guy, man. He was like, man, you should come out. He probably talked to me for the better part of 2 years. Like, just come on out. I was like, man, forget that. You know what I mean? I'm getting ready to go. I still can go to the league. You know what I mean? And, you know, I think I broke my finger or something and I couldn't play for a while. He's like, come on out, man. Just try it. If you don't like it, you know. So I went out and, I mean, I got bitten by the bug too. I think that's typically what happens is, you know, you get bitten and you just start making that money, that little extra cash. And
You said it right, literally.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it was, but we didn't know no better,
Nah.
so we ran with it.
It was not like free money, but it was like, you know, money that you didn't have
Exactly.
before.
It's like, hey,
yeah,
just
I mean,
running
for a
up,
few hours,
yeah,
right?
running
Being
up
on
down
the
the
court.
court. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Running, being around the game.
Yeah.
You know, being around the kids and stuff. So that's just it was great. I mean, it was awesome, and learning other sports. I think being a player, you know, we see the game from one perspective because I played too, and I know you played. But I think seeing it from that perspective is totally different as an official. You know, I thought I knew the rules as a player,
Yeah.
but once you know you get one of these, you know, and you read it. Well, part of it, I mean, I don't even know if we read it. Do you think a lot of us read? This is a volleyball rule book, but
I use it as a reference book. You know, when you run into plays and things that you need to. You think about the play we're talking about, then I use it as a reference book. Okay, this happened. Let me go in the rule book and you know, verify if I called it right or wrong.
yeah. But have you read the high school and the, you know, all of the rule set?
I normally try to go through it once a year. The new book, I normally try to freshen up and read it all the way through.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You said you know, you played, you thought you knew the rules. You know, every year I get a lot of guys that, you know, say, hey, I want to referee, and I say, what's your experience level? Well, I played, you know, college, I played overseas, played high level. I said, okay, you played. I said, what's your experience with officiating? Because it's really two different things. And it does, I mean, knowing the rules of the game from a player helps. Yeah. But officiating is totally different. It's a totally different perspective. And we all learned that when we started officiating.
Oh, man, it's crazy.
You know.
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
So what makes you stay, right? Like, because most of us, our primary thing is basketball. Our primary, the most games we do is probably basketball. But what makes you stay? Is there one thing, could you say one thing that makes you stay now at this point?
I got one for me. For me, it's about the money, but not really. Because I'm at a stage right now, it make or break me at this point, being as old as I am. It make or break me. But it's, when I go to the game and I see Aubrey or see Kaya, it's for me to go in there and have a good time. I love the game, but I like to meet different people. I like to work with different people. I like to get out and have a good time. You got some guys are serious, some guys don't know how to relax and have to go out and have a good time. Yeah. That's my main reason. Yeah. Is to go out and just have a good time.
It's definitely a fellowship. Get a chance to meet. Yeah. And, you know, a whole lot of people I never would have met before. And like I say, you go out on the court or the field and you see somebody you haven't seen in a long time. You're happy to see them. And then it's just excuse me. It's also just the thrill of the game. You know, I love sports. I always love sports, but there's something about, you know, being on that court, you know, when the game is tight and, you know, fans are screaming, you know, you kind of, you know, your adrenaline goes up.
You get your giddy up.
You're in the game. I can't play, but I'm in the game, and you know,
it's exciting.
The crowd, And, you know, and I know in football, you know, something about, they talk about Friday Night Lights. There's something about being on that field and the lights are bright and the field is green, and on Saturday morning the sun's coming up. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I think football's probably, it's definitely up there in terms of my favorite things to officiate, right? I mean, volleyball is, I think there's so much that I don't know about that sport still, and I've been doing it for so long. Basketball, it feels like it's more familiar to me because, I played, and I'm reffing, and you know what I mean? So that it just seems like but the game has changed too, right? So basketball's changing so much now. It's changed so much since I first started officiating, since we first started. But something about, I agree, man, there's something about football that I want you to, we can get you on our.
When I retire, I'm getting in there, picking up everything.
I don't know if it's the, you smell the grill, and the people, cooking, tailgating, and the sun, and
popcorn,
and the lights, and the green field,
and to see those plays, man, to see a nice play, like a running play that goes for a touchdown, being on the field, being on the court, there's nothing like it, really. I mean, I guess it's maybe search for that perfect game, or, trying to, just not mess up, just all of that stuff, that we go through, together as a cadre, to support each other. All right, so I appreciate y'all for sharing that. That's really important. I think, a lot of us around the globe that are doing this, there's probably maybe 500,000, 300,000 to 500,000 officials across the country that are covering sports, right? So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of similar stories, about how guys started, how women started, ladies started officiating. So we just encourage you guys to keep doing it, keep making the job. So the best that you can, right? Keep learning, keep growing. I think that's what it's about. So the next segment that we want to talk about is we call it Rule in 60. So we want to try to keep this down to about 60 seconds.
That's fine.
And what is one rule that you think, we want to just talk about a rule that you think we don't get right, we misunderstand, and fans and parents misunderstand a lot. What do you, Aubrey, do you have one for football that you can?
Yeah, and I guess not necessarily that officials misunderstand, but one thing with all sports, there's different rules in pro, college, and high school. The rules are different. Most in football, most people watching Sunday, watching the NFL.
Yeah.
So pass interference in NFL is when the penalty's called, it's at the spot of the spot of the foul. So they throw a 30-yard pass and it's pass interference. You get the ball 30 yards downfield. Well, that's the NFL rule. In high school, it's 15 yards from the previous spot, from wherever you started from. So when you call that penalty, everybody's saying, hey, we should have the ball 30-yard line, and it should be at the 15-yard line, and people don't understand that.
I got it. So is there a difference in the high school and the collegiate pass interference?
Now, I'm not a college official, but I believe college and high school is the same for that rule. But there are different rules for different penalties at different levels.
Yeah.
So I believe college is the same thing as 15 yards from the previous spot.
Got it. So you're basically taking 15 yards from where
it's a 15-yard penalty. So
got it. So is that where the ball was snapped, right?
Right. So even if it's a 40-yard pass and the penalty happens 40 yards down the field, it's only 50. You only get 15 yards.
Got it. Yeah, that's confusing me now. Shit.
Yeah.
But Drake, that's a good one, man. I like that one. You got one?
Yeah, the blodge for it.
What do you call it?
The blodge.
The blodge, the infamous blodge.
Yes, the infamous blodge. So
for explain what the blodge is for us first.
That's two referees calling at the same time. One has a block, one has a charge.
Okay.
So they connect, and both of us come up with the same thing. When someone come with a charge, one come with a block. So we discussed probably staying out of trouble with that instead of calling it blodge. It's probably to keep everything safe. I like what Arb said earlier, is to just, one of us has a kind. I think you had that first, we go with a block.
Yeah.
And stay out of the blodge. Because if not, you got to go to the table and report the blodge.
Yeah.
And then you got to change all the rules. Then you got to put the ball in place under the goal and make that decision. Everybody's sitting there looking like,
because officially, you should have two. So a blodge, 2 player, you have an impact, crash on the basket.
Yeah.
One official's calling a charge, offensive foul.
Yeah, I'm going here.
And one official's calling defensive foul, a block. So officially, the way you're supposed to adjudicate that is you call 2 penalties. Nobody understands that except us.
Right.
Now, by the book, that's what we should do. We should charge the defensive player with a block,
charge both of them.
a foul,
Right.
offensive player.
Right.
I've tried to do that in the game. Nobody understands.
Right.
Coaches don't understand. The fans don't understand it.
Table doesn't understand.
You spend 10 minutes explaining it.
Yeah.
So, like I
That's
said,
what-
it's
that's
easier.
what it-
What everybody understands
Right.
is, okay, he called it first. He had a block. Now, the other coach is not going to be happy, but it's actually easier for them to understand that and continue with the game than to try to explain
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Just holistically from a big picture perspective, we can just say, my block happened first, right? Or,
Exactly.
my angle. And do you get into whose primary coverage it is too? Or is it
Well,
I
you
mean,
do.
Yeah,
You do.
It's his primary coverage. He called it first.
Right.
I should have waited or something.
Yeah, so we can kind of blame it on or take the blame. So really what happens is that in basketball, and we kind of talked about this, where you are and where that play happens, there's a primary coverage area. So if you're on the end line, you're in the lead, right?
Right.
So anything that happens in the paint, in that free throw line area, the free throw area is the primary coverage area is the lead, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in the C or the slot across from the lead and the trail and where that play comes from, then it could be a dual coverage area. But if somebody has a primary, if it's in their primary coverage, then usually we try to defer, right? So what we want to do is we want to come up with a whistle. What we want to have happen is before you give that preliminary, we call it a preliminary call, we want to have both officials with their hands up
And hold.
and just wait.
Yep.
And then, but oftentimes we're just used to just, banging it or just, bam, trying to sell the call.
And we didn't talk about pregame, so that's one thing. There might be another episode.
Oh,
so,
man.
A good officiating crew, you can have a pregame. So before, just like your teams are having a pregame, preparing for the game and what they're going to execute as officials, we get together. We talk about, okay, let's make sure we're all experienced, but let's make sure we don't overlook this. We look at this. If this happens, and that's one of the things we want to pregame.
Yeah.
If we have a double whistle, let's hold our preliminary, defer to the lead official. That's usually what we're gonna do is defer to the lead official. That way you can avoid that. But sometimes even though sometimes just again the intensity of the game. It's a bang bang play. You want to come out.
Oh,
and bang.
yeah. We want to come and sell that call, right? So, I mean, and there's a play in volleyball that's very similar too, right? So, if you have simultaneous violations in volleyball, so typically, we're working with an R2 or somebody that's on the stand. If you're in the stand, you're down on the floor next to the table. There's 2 violations that happen. Typically, we want to just really make it one violation. Kind of, it's almost the exact same situation. Which whistle happened first?
Right.
Is there, because it really creates, for us, it creates a replay of the point. So in volleyball, we really don't want to ever have replays because we think those kids are earning points. Same way in basketball, right? We want somebody has earned that point. So we don't want to replay if we don't have to. But I think basketball is such a fast moving sport, and that's part of pre-gaming too. I mean, that whole pre-game is part of preparation, And that's one thing that we're definitely going to talk about in the Black and White Table Talk is preparation, how we prepare, what you do during the off season, what you do during the season, your eating habits, how you maintain yourself. And another part that we want to talk about is mental health, how you guys take care of your mind, just being, I call it being abused almost, really, essentially. You know, there are times I think that fans, you know, just they ride us like thoroughbreds, right? I mean, you know, and try to find a weak link, a partner that may not be, you know, as experienced or, you know, that kind of handles it. So, but we're going to talk about all that stuff. So it's time to get to the next segment. But thanks for sharing that ruling 64s. The next thing we want to talk about is a play. We want to break down, look at a couple of plays, and I want you guys' opinion on what you would call. It's kind of like that. What's the name of that? You make the call. So this is and listen, this is not about shaming the guys that are on the game, that are on that match. It's purely for educational purposes. We're going to reach out to those officials and try to talk to them and get their approval.
And it's always easier to look at it on film than when it actually happens.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about it.
So you can slice and dice everything, cut it down. But when it happens, man, you got to make a decision.
And it's all about angles too, right? I mean, it's about the angle that you have, you know, and where you are, and time and score. All those things are play into, you know, what we call and what we don't call. But here's the first play. Okay, so here's the play with 5 seconds left. All right. Okay, so we got to travel here. Okay, so we got a bunch of
So initially, again, you can, as you replay it and slow it down, it's the different thing. But initially, I didn't see it travel.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Did you?
I you know, usually our spidey sense, my little tingling goes off, and I'm like, something's not right here on travels. Even the travels that we're getting now.
I didn't see it.
And also, my mindset with 5 seconds left in the game.
Don't let that go.
I want something to be major. I still didn't see the travel.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But he calls a foul.
No, the travel.
No, but he goes up.
He goes up with a right.
And then
preliminary.
And then he went with the travel. Yeah.
So
right there.
This score is tied, right? The score, is it tied? So, I was trying to listen to the horn, the sound of the horn going off. Do you feel there's contact there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then look at him. So he's not in really good position because his back's to the defense.
Yeah.
So again, and this is you don't pick this, years of officiating, and this may not be right. But at 5 seconds left, I want it to be major. I'm letting that go. We're going over.
You're letting the travel go?
I don't see a travel.
There's no travel.
And then when you look at it again, it looked like it was mostly ball. And look
at him. And he's behind. I'd have to be in front of that play to have a really good look at that.
Yeah.
And if you look at the play again, it looks like she hit all ball. And with the score being tied, give and taking.
Let's see.
So I thought it was a foul, and I thought there was a foul that happened.
Oh,
yeah,
that's what I saw. I saw a foul.
Yeah, you're right.
And
you're right.
And it felt like for me that the horn it went off after his whistle. Right.
So they should be shooting three.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But I mean,
now after looking at it,
it's clear.
When you replay it and slow it down, you can see things. So that's obviously a foul.
Yeah, but you're right. He is he's looking at the offensive player's back.
Straight line.
So there's no way he could see what the blue defender's arms are doing. Right. So he needs to be. Where should he be? Where do you think he should be? Yeah, he's the C.
Yeah, he should be down.
He should be in front of that.
Yeah, he should be in front.
In front of it, you mean closer to the end line, where the scoring basket is, where the offensive basket is.
If he was in good position, he'd be underneath the free throw line, or he'd be right below the free throw line where you can see
At
it.
least at the free throw line,
Yeah.
right? So he can see straight through that play.
Right, and with this being the last second shot, he should have been hustling down to get a really good view.
Right.
That goes back to the pregame, you knowing, hey, look, and normally we'll come together anyway before that play and say, hey, look, we got to be on point these last 5 seconds. We got to be on point. We got to get there. We got to get in those positions. So.
Yeah. Okay. I think I agree. So from the
But I still don't
looks,
travel.
yeah,
I don't know where it came with travel.
I'm not sure either, but I definitely don't think there's a travel. But from the age of his jersey, it looks like this is most of us now are wearing that new jersey.
And he
It's not
may,
the black and white.
and
It's
I
old-
don't
it's
want
old
to get in his
clip.
head,
Yeah.
but maybe he had something. He's known as the game is gonna, it's a tie game.
Right. And he's
saying, let's just go to overtime.
Let's go to overtime.
I'll call it travel.
Right.
There's no, game, that ends the regulation. Let's go to overtime.
Let him decide it in OT. Right. Is that good? Do you think that's a good decision, or?
I didn't see a travel. I mean, it wouldn't. I wasn't close to being a travel.
But if you got a foul,
Close.
we got to
come with it.
You calling it?
Yeah, we got to call with it. We got to come with that. Yeah. We got to come with that.
Okay. So
Here's
here's
stayed off.
I like that. So yeah. Here's play number 2. Can you see it?
Yeah, I'm saying it. I mean,
Okay. So it's a game-winning shot, right? And the official, good position, huh? You think he's in good position?
Yep.
Comes up with a travel. So what do you guys think about this play?
I think it was travel. I mean, I think you got it right. Again, this is people watch the NBA. NBA, they're not going to call that. They take 6 steps. But these guys, these high school players, first of all, they can't execute like the NBA. They're not James Harden. They don't know how to take that little half step or whatever, and then they let that go. But in high school ball, that's a travel. He took 4 steps at least. And again, they get away with it in the NBA, so everybody in the stand thinks it's good. And again, like you said before, you got to be a confident official to make that call at that time of the game.
oh yeah.
You think it's a walk too?
Man, I mean, I guess if we're gonna do that, we got to get it early. Got to get it early in the game. We can't allow them to do it then and then wait to the opportunity at the end to call it. If they doing it early, we need to pick it up early to let him know he's not getting away with it. To get to the point that we at the end of the game, and he's done it all game.
So the question is that we really need to ask is has a play similar to this happened previously in the game, right? So you think
He's probably doing this.
it's not the first time he did.
He's
right?
probably doing this every game or just about every time he shoots. I mean, because he's setting that up, you know what I'm saying? He's working on that shot. He's working on that shot.
It looked like a walk to me, right?
Yeah.
Definitely looked like a walk. It all depends upon when he gathers the ball, right? So, I mean, his dribble, then he takes a step after he stopped his dribble, and then he takes a jump stop, right? And then shoots, I think. But I could definitely see, we're kind of looking at the play over and over. It's on repeat. But I can definitely, Yep. I can definitely go travel. But you're right. I mean, late game, man, we want to be absolutely spot on.
Yes.
And, we want to get it right all the time.
Yeah.
But late game, we really,
time, we gotta be on point.
there's no opportunity for teams to recover. So, but hey, listen, this has just been a great time. I mean, you guys are invited back anytime. You're emeritus to the Black and White Table Talk. So you don't need an invitation. Just let me know when you want to come. You're my friends, you're my family, you're my brother. I think there's a fraternity amongst us and sorority amongst us that, we've gone through some wars together. So, I'd do anything for you guys. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys for being here. for this first episode of Black and White Table Talk. Hey, we're going to have a question and answer session. So next episode, please send in any kind of questions that you have, that you may want to ask an official. We'll have different sports officials here: hockey, soccer, Aubrey's football, but as many sports, we're going to try to get cricket officials, track and field. We're going to try to cover it all. So if you play a sport, we want to have an official here represented. So come and join us again next week at the Black and White table, and that's our call. And respect the game, respect each other, and just be safe out there and have fun. We'll see you next time at the Black and White Table Talk.